Hello, good morning. How are you doing? Or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. Because this days, you never know. You're talking to one person in 1 minute in Nigeria, the other minute in Canada or the UK. You never know. But that's on a light note. Good day to you. How are you doing? All right. You know what this is? This is the sequel to the Boss It Decide training that we had on the 3rd of October. We are sorry it took this long. Very, very, very sorry. Very sorry. So this is a Canva phone design tutorial, a quick one to just get you familiarized with designs as a whole. So let me say this first, that if you did not attend the live class that we had, the first live class that we had, and you've not watched the video, get off this video and do that first. It's very important, it's foundational, and if you haven't watched it, then a lot of things that we say here would not make a lot of sense to you. So yeah, just do that first. Let's do that first. All right. So just to save time, I would you know be installing my Canva. I would act as though I don't have Canva before and install my Canvas so that I can take you all through the whole process of where using Canva. So let me say this also, that if you have a PC, I want to say this as carefully as possible so that I do not say the wrong thing. If you have a PC, then and it's functioning like properly, I would advise strongly that you use a PC related software for designing, and that's if, most especially if you want to have a career in design. You understand that? If you're just doing it for leisure or just like support your business, then of course. But if you're doing it because you want to be a designer, you want to have a career in design, then this tutorial is not for you. I'm sorry. Install Illustrator on your PC, install CorelDRAW on your PC, install Affinity software, install Photoshop, install that. We're going to be having tutorials on Figma and Illustrator coming up on this same YouTube channel soon. So yeah, you're going to have content. Don't worry, they're coming for you. But if you do not have a PC and you still want to start out your career in design and you feel like you don't want to wait any longer, then of course this tutorial is for you. And if you just want to use it because you just want to learn about design more and all of that, this tutorial is for you. So yeah, let's just get into it, right? So Canva is actually a really, really nice software, and I love it so much because it makes a lot of things easy. Yeah, it makes a whole lot of things easy. Just it's just easy to navigate around it. Even if you have no prior knowledge of designing and you enter Canva, you can just walk away around it. So you see what we're doing now, just install the software, sign in with your emails, as simple as that. No stress, no nothing. So yeah, we'll get into it. So you know what, I am just thinking of what we're gonna do today. So I think I'll just take us generally around the whole Canva environment. Then I would try to, we'll just design one or two flyers to familiarize ourselves with the whole process. And yeah, once we do that, I believe that we will be good. Yeah. So this is Canva for you. This is Canva for you. And so yeah, this is the home page. You're seeing recent designs because I've actually used Canva a few times before. So yeah, that's why you're seeing that. So but it's just really a lot of things. So one thing about Canva is this: Canva has a lot of templates. So even if you have no idea about designing, you could easily just walk into Canva and just select one template, and maybe for your Instagram story, and all you've got to do is just change probably the pictures, the fonts, the colors, or any of that, and you're really good. And that's one of the things that makes Canva really interesting. And yeah, so but we're not going to be doing that today. Yeah, so you see already, you can just just select this and just change your picture, change the color of the background, change your font, change the code, just any of that. So but we're not doing that today. We are going to be designing something from the scratch. But before that, let me just so you can use it for logos, for posters, for Instagram posts. You see, when you see whiteboards, it's talking about probably like flow charts, like probably you want to have a board meeting and all of that. So there are templates for that, for social media, Square Instagram posts, stories, lots of that, for presentations, for videos. So the Canva actually has motion videos too. So the more you use it, the more you get familiar with it. But let's not talk too much on that. So let's say, so the project is where the works you've done personally, that's where you find them. And yeah, so it also has a pro feature. So there are some things that you might not be able to do, some backgrounds that you're not able to design and like use or stuff like that if you don't have the pro feature yet, and some other things. So all of these things you can get used to them on your own. So but let's say you want to start a new project, right? So I'm thinking of what we should do. I think we're going to design a flyer. And that's probably what we're going to do first. No, that's not what we're going to do first. But I have this flyer in mind that I want us to design so that we just get used to it. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So if you want to start a new design, you see this plus button right here. Yeah, that's your guy. So click on it, easy peasy. And yeah, you have dimensions. So now this is something important about design. The dimension or the size of your design matters a lot, because if you want to do a YouTube thumbnail, then you know that you need a very landscape what's it called now, dimension, right? So that's why you see 2560 by 1140 for the banner, or the thumbnail 1280 by 720 pixels, right? And that 1280 is talking about the width, like the width. You know what width is, right? So yeah, so that's why it's higher, because it's going to be in landscape. You know what landscape is? Landscape is when it's the width is higher. You understand that? So but when you do an Instagram post, it's going to be portrait, so the dimension is going to be different. So that's what makes it easy on Canva. You can just select, oh, I want to do an Instagram story, oh, I want to do a YouTube thumbnail, and they just save you the stress of all that. But generally for flyers, most flyers are done in a square shape. You understand that? So you can just go to custom size if what you want is not there, right? So let's say 1080 by 1080. That's what we want to do. 1080 by 1080 pixels. Oh, you can see it already. Instagram post square. Yeah, so most flyers are always done in like square, and that's majorly because of two reasons. Although things are beginning to shift now, yeah, and more people are beginning to change the dimensions of the flyer, because previously the reason why it was square was because DP, when you want to put a display picture, your display picture has to be square. If it's not square, it will ask you to crop it to be square. And because Instagram in its own before supported more square dimensioned images, so most people just swerved towards that area. But now that things are changing, yeah, so but we're still going to be going with the square dimension for today. So we created a design, right? So I'm just going to show us a few features on Canva first before we design some things. And yeah, so when you open it, the first thing it shows you are the templates you can use, and there's a plethora of them to choose from. But like I said, we are doing none of that. So plus, not all of them actually these templates are made by users, right? So not all of them are actually good designs. We talked about good designs and bad designs during the class. So from this now, I expect you to be able to point out what a good design is from this, like things we're swiping all around, and what a bad design is. So but if you haven't watched that class, that's more reason why you shouldn't be here first. So after templates, you see another tab called elements. So this is probably the most important, I think, or maybe not, depending on what you want to do. So yeah, so you see line and shapes. So what you find here really is just shapes, lines, stuff that you can bring into your design to add some flavor to it. So graphics too, yeah, this is when you're speaking about flavor, then this is your guy. Just some things that you might not be able to curate on your own that you can add to your designs. Then stickers, I think this is mostly if you want to do motions, because these are moving, graphics, so that's why they call it motion graphics. Yeah, right. Then photos, the photos here and the videos here are online, so they are from Canva itself. So but you can always import from your, maybe an image you have um from your own gallery, from your own phone. Then you have tables in case you want to do tables. Then you have frames. Frames are important because unlike these normal shapes, line and shapes, you cannot put an image into them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like the way this particular design, this image is inside this box, you cannot do that with the normal lines and shapes. You have to use the frames, and that's what they are there for, so that you can put images in there. So there are different shapes you can just choose from and then adjust the size as you see fit. So we'll get to that later, right? So then your gallery, like I said, you can import. So of course you have to allow that. You can import images, videos, what have you, from your phone itself, right? So all you gotta do is search for it, probably images, and yeah, you just find something to use. That's it. So then text, very important. There are no designs without typography, right? So from here you can add a text box, add an heading, something like that. There are also font combinations that they've put there for you, probably some with effects, but you can see stuff like pro, right? That's because not everything on Canva is free. You've got some money. Yeah, so but aside from that, you can just choose from a whole lot of them that are still free, but most of the times you probably don't even need them, because your design, what you want to design, determines the type of typography you want to use. That is very important, and we're also taught that. So you can just add a text box and stuff like that. So there is more to it. There are styles, audio, videos, background, stuff like that. Then photos, like I said, these ones are from Canva itself, like Canva's own archive of pictures. You can search, so like a couple, maybe you want to see a couple, just save yourself the stress, and you just see them. You see couples. These days we cannot rest. Everywhere we turn to is love, but the Lord is the strength of some of us that do not have these things. It is well with us. So alright, so yeah, that's what photos is for. Then text, I mentioned that already. Just add the text box, then you can edit. So when you have a text like that, you can edit it. You can edit the content of the text. Say you want to put your name, let's just say boss it, right? That's it. Then you can increase the fonts. Yeah, you can change the font rather. So probably you want to choose Oxford, you want to choose Lemon Tuesday. There's actually a whole lot of them that are here. Of course, fonts on Canva is limited, and for the fact that you cannot import fonts, that's one thing that limits Canva, unlike other softwares where PC softwares where you can just install any fonts online and use them. So but Canva actually still has a fair amount of fonts that you can choose from, sans serif, serif, and all of that you can choose from. So yeah, that's cool, right? So yeah, so you can just choose this box it, then increase the font size if you want to, right? Then you can change the color of the font. So we're gonna get familiar with all this. Yeah, so then the format, then you can bolden it if you want to. This one does not have the italize option. You can underline it, and so on and so forth. There's a little else you can do with text. Then there is effects. Yeah, let me just mention something quickly about effects. When you see a font with an outline, right, so you can copy it, that's no biggie. When you see a font with an outline, right, there's a way to do it, unlike other softwares where you can just change it from the color to the stroke. If you have not designed before, you're probably not going to understand what I just said, so sorry. So but on Canva, it's actually an effect that you use. What do I mean by outline? What you see as holo is what they call outline on design, in design rather. So that's what you just see it as outline. So but you realize that once you click on holo, it's just you can of course adjust the thickness. Once you click on holo, it just changes it to outline instead of, but you can change it back and say no, I don't want Olo. But what you notice about that changing to outline is that it removes the color inside. So if you want to keep your color inside and probably have another color for the outline, you go to splice. So there's a way to do it. You see that when you go to splice, it's kind of offset it looks more like a shadow, right? So but you can also adjust that. Just click on it again, then the direction, change it to 0, right? Change the direction to 0, then the offset to change it to 0, right? So once you do that, you just see that it will bring it back to that place. So you cannot change the color of what is inside to probably pink. Then that way you'll be able to keep the color of your outline. So if you want to change the color of your outline, you still go back to that effect, go back to that style, go back to that splice, and then you change the color of the inside there. But if you want to change the color of the text itself, of the outline itself rather, so you still go back to your font color here, and then you can change that. So you just, of course, that's part design, right? So I'm just trying to get us familiar with what's it called, with the text function. So yeah, that's that. Then you have stuff like animate, that's when you want to do motions, but let's not go there today, right? So you have transparency. Transparency is if you don't want it, of course you know what transparency is, when something is transparent. So yeah, I don't have an English for that, so but that's it. It depends on what you want to do in your design really, so that will inform what kind of stuff you want to do. Then position, if you want your font to be centralized, this is very important. Alignment is important in design, and we're still going to touch something on that as we go on. So when you press middle, it centralizes it to like middle of the design. When you put it to right and so on and so forth, center, it just does that for you, easy peasy. So nudge, if you want to make micro adjustments, for example, if I want to move this font now and I just click on it, it's like it's probably taking it a bit too far more than I want. But if you want to just adjust it without having to like slide across, probably it's just moving on too much, you understand what I'm saying in time. So you can just use nudge. Nudge just changes the direction or the position in like very minute steps and stuff like that. Comments is if you're probably working on a design with someone, or you want to add a comment to remember what you're doing when you come back and stuff like that. Then more, if you want to copy paste or copy or paste, if you want to select multiple objects, that's very important also. For example, if I add a shape, sorry, for example, if I add a shape, let's say I add a circle, stuff like that. So right, so here of course you know you can undo and redo. That's like basic Ctrl Z stuff in any software at all. So if I add this shape right here and I want to select this one and this one, what do? You can go here more to do all of this, but an easy way to do it is just select the 3 dots that is highlighted around the objects, right? It just takes you directly to that place. Then you can select multiple. That way you just select this and they're together, so you can group them. When you group them, what happens is that when you deselect it, if you want to select one, it selects the two together. So that way you don't have to bother about your items scattering all around, but then you can also come back here to ungroup it, right? Easy peasy. So if you feel like they are not aligned also, what do? You come here and you slide over here. What you do again, you go to position and then you align it. Probably you want it to be in the middle, you want to be in the center. That's aligned already. So stuff like that. Yeah, we just playing around, aren't we? So but yeah, that's just basically what it is. So that's basically what it is about. So when you want to import pictures and stuff like that, we're going to deal with that. So I was actually thinking about what we can do in this tutorial, and I saw some designs and I just think I'll just want us to quickly work on them, because that way we'll be able to do something practical and then you can understand what we're saying. Of course, when you want to you want to download your design, maybe you're done, you click on this stuff right here up there. When you want to download, save as image. So yeah, so we were not doing that yet. Of course, this does not make any sense yet. All right, so I saw some flyers, like I said, and I just love us to work on them so that we can get familiar. Yeah, this is it. So yeah, this. How are you feeling about this? Do you think you can pull this off with Canva, right? So yeah, I think we can. Definitely think we can. It's quite simple. So let's deal with this. I feel like this is something really basic that we can work on. I just found it online. I just like, okay, I think this is basic, and let's just work with it, right? So the only thing we might not really be able to get is the logo, right? The DI logo, and of course I don't want us to plagiarize the logo, so we're probably just going to put the Boss City logo there, right? Then the ads, we're just going to change that too. So yeah, let's get to it, right? So this is what we want to do, right? So let's come. What do we start with? Of course, we know that the dimension of this flyer is also square, so yeah, we're right on track. So what do we need for this design to work? We need a picture, right? We need the colors, we need the fonts, then we need, yeah, that's just what we need. So speaking about pictures, when you want to design anything, you need to get your resources, right? And there are plenty of places to get resources, especially pictures. There are places like pexel.com, there are places like unsplash.com, there is freepik.com. We address this once again, we address this in the first live class. So yeah, you probably want to get to that, right? So yeah, let me close this first and start from scratch. So yeah, when you want to install download the picture, of course we can use the in-house stuff, the in Canva, you know what I mean, the pictures here. So we need a man in suit, right? So you can just type man in suit, and let's see if it gives us something we would like to use. So yeah, actually there are options here, but looks like some of them are pro. And you remember the kind of man in suit we want. We want a man like this in suit, so probably someone looking to the side and holding his shirt or something like that. So something just really close to what we're looking for. With his head, look at this now. This guy kind of fits, but his head is cropped off. So now that's not our guy. So what do we do? This guy doesn't look like it either. So, and really it might be a little bit difficult to find what you want on cover, and that's why you have to also get used to using other websites. So let's see freepik.com. So let's search the same thing on freepik.com. So yeah, let's just search for man in suit, right? Man in suit. Actually, we should have just used black man in suits. But let's see. Let's not confuse the search engine. Right. So wow, this looks nice, right? The guy is holding his shirt and is just not looking to the side, right? Well, so that we do not lose that picture, let's just open a new tab, right? Just open a new tab in group so that we just keep the picture, and let's see if we find something better. No, not this guy. This guy is not even doing any of that, and it's not black again. So yeah, so this is how you look for resources. In fact, let me tell you this, that so when you see stuff like this, it means it's not free. Again, not all things are free on all websites. So yeah, I was saying something about resources, that you see this part of finding what picture to use, what fonts to use, all those stuff. They are the most important part of design, I tell you. That's what makes your work beautiful. That's what makes you different. That's what makes it unique. So if you do not go through the rigorous process of looking for the right stuff for your design, there's probably going to be a problem, right? We don't need someone that is shocked, clearly. Alright, so this guy is we don't know. This all these guys are white. Why this guy vex? Alright, none of that works. It looks like we are probably going to go back to that first guy that we found, right? Because they're not even holding their suit or anything. Here's the guy again. But so let's see. We're just going to end on the first page so that we don't waste time. So it's the design that counts, not this. So yeah, let's just see what we can do, what we have, so far we can't find anyone that looks closer to what we want than, oh, it's actually looking at the side in this particular picture. It's just a bit bent. Hmm. Let's see. Open a new tab. So once again, what will you notice is that, so let's download those two pictures first. Let's download them first. Let's download them first, so that we can work with them, of course. So yeah, it's downloading now. So what you notice with these pictures is that, and I forgot to say that when you want to import a picture, especially a logo, into Canva, you have to make sure it's in PNG. Oh, I'm done. I've reached my daily download limits. Oh, sorry. So I think we just have to make do with this single picture we have. Alright, so one thing you notice about this picture is that the background is still there, and there's no way we can upload it online using this background. It's not going to work, so we have to remove the background, and there are different ways to remove the background, Photoshop and all of that, but these days a lot of things are easier, and there's a way you can easily remove the background, and you can do that with a website called Pickwish. Right, what I'm giving you guys is expo, I'm telling you. So there's pickwish.com. So when you go to pickwish.com, you can upload any picture and it just automatically removes the background for you. So you just upload images, so just click on it, and it's just, it's of course going to process it. So yeah, just hold on a bit, and voila, you have your picture. So just download it. So now we can see that, like, oh, you have to log into, that's important. So of course you have to click for 3 seconds and you'll be able to download. So yeah, it's done. Yeah, you find it here. So this is your picture without background. So let's use this guy now for our design. So where were we on Canva? So yeah, we're just going to come here, then gallery, of course, then where's our guy? Oh, okay, it's here now, and we can click on the guy. So add to page. Yeah, this is it. So of course a lot of work is here to be done, so let's just put the guy here first. Just let him just be playing in that corner. Like I said, we want to use our logo, so I have Bossit logo here with me. So if you don't have Bossit logo, you can just, if you don't have any logo to use, you can just put I guess just put probably your name. So this is my Bossit logo. Like I said, that has to be PNG too, because the background has to be removed. You can just use your name and just put it just in that corner, so you just have a similitude of that design, right? So yeah, so you have to of course respect borders, and that's one thing it's important that we mention too. Borders matter a lot in design. It means that you give some space up and beside. Your content must not touch the edges. It is not done in design. So let's see our target again, so that we do not go off track, right? So where's my screenshots? Yeah, so your content must not touch the borders. Very important, you have to learn that. So just, yeah, that looks good there. So what else do we need? We need text, we need the boxes. So let's add boxes, right? We need 3 boxes. So let's add, so we'll go to, where do we go to? Elements. You're right. So you see the rectangular shape here. So of course we need it to be wider. We need to be quite wide, yeah, but not too wide. So of course we're going to centralize it. So I think it's a bit too long. So yeah, so when you want to duplicate something, so you can see those purple lines. That's Canva trying to help you to centralize your designs so that you don't go through the stress. So now when you don't want to be creating something over and over, you can just use this button here and it duplicates it for you. So you can bring it, slide it down, and yeah, so there's some space there, then it duplicates it again. So yeah, this looks cool for me, right? It looks like what we want, right? So let's just go on with that. So now you see that this stuff now they are on the picture and we need it to be in the back. What do we do? It's quite simple. So first let's try to adjust it, because I feel like there's no space here enough. So let's try to reduce this stuff. So we can do that. What did I say when you want to select multiple things? You come here, you select multiple, 1, 2, 3. So from there we can just adjust the size altogether, right? Then yeah, bring it down here. Now this is cool, right? For me it's cool. I don't know about you, so it's cool for me. Yes, so it looks good to me. So when you do that, now having selected the 3 of them, you see this option send to back. That is how you take your work behind the picture. You see, that's very easy. So you can click away and then just leave it at that. So now of course you have to change the colors individually. So you click on, so now that is at the back, whatever you select that is in the range of this picture, it's begin to click on it. So you have to kind of avoid the picture. So you click on this, you go to color. I think the first color we saw there was yellow, right? So so if you cannot find the color here, you come here. So when you come here, there's like a variety of colors, right? So you can just slide along. All the colors in the world are here, so you can just apply it based on your own creativity. So yeah, I think this is good. We need something bright, so this works. So come here, the second one, what's the color for the second one again? We need pink, right? So the same thing goes. If you don't find your color, this looks like it's not dark enough, right? You see this change all. If you click on change all, it helps you to change all the colors to that same pink, or the remaining colors to that same pink. But just not just do that. That's not what we want to do. So we're looking for a much, yeah, this looks like what we want, darker and vibrant. Thank you. So colors are a big subject in design that we do not just want to start now. Then we need a pale blue, right? So you click on this again. Of course you have to avoid it, like I said, and you look for a pale blue. I think you can find a pale blue here, easy. You don't have to go to the slider. So yeah, it's beginning to look like it's right. So that's how designs work. So I think one thing we have to do again is that this guy is not big enough, right? So let's increase the height of this guy. We don't need all of him to be there, we just need some part of him to be there. And yeah, so we can flip him if we want him to face another side. We can flip it and he will face another side. These are things you learn from design. So but I think we can just leave it naturally the way he is. So let's just leave him the way he is. I hope he's not too big now. He's not. I don't think he's too big. So yeah, I think his head needs to come out a little bit, right? So yeah, looks cool. So of course if you centralize this guy, it will not really work, because the picture itself is not centralized. So but you have this one, you have to use your instincts and your discretion to just kind of make sure the guy looks okay on the design, right? So when you feel like it, see what I'm saying now, is it moving too much or something, and I don't want it to move that much. What do? I go to nudge. So just from nudge you can just shift it gently, yeah, without causing any issues. So yeah, this is our guy. So we have buses, we have the guy, we have the pictures. So yeah, what next do we need to do? The text. All right, so this part now is easy. So you come here and you come to the text. You just choose add a text box. come here, just place it above here. What did the text say? It says life doesn't respond to emotions, our decisions and action is what influences the results we get. So let's do life doesn't respond to emotions, right? So let's change our font first to look more like it. So let's see Roboto. Does it look like what we want? Like I said, there are a lot of fonts to choose from. So Lato is quite a popular font actually. So let's just use Lato Live. So now, having done that, let's change the font. Sorry, not the font now. The text. Live doesn't respond to emotions. Of course, you can type everything together, but the reason why I'm not typing everything together is because one part of it is bold, and you cannot edit it separately. You cannot edit it the same way. So, life doesn't respond to emotions. First, right? So one thing you notice again is that it is not totally black here. Oh, it is? Okay, it is. So life doesn't respond to emotions. It doesn't really look like the font actually, but it's still kind of there in a way. So life doesn't respond to emotions. So you can increase the font size a little bit more. So that's too much. If you feel like the slider is taking you to where you don't know, you can just put your digits according to your own discretion to just kind of place it. I feel like this guy's service head is showing too much. I will kill a few. So you just bring him down a little bit so that it doesn't collide with our work. So yeah, now this guy, of course, he doesn't look centralized yet, right? So we have to position him well center. Yeah, told you. So these things you see with your eye because alignment is very important. Like I said, it has to be centrally aligned. So that doesn't respond to emotions. So you zoom in when you want to adjust micro Mali. Now you duplicate that. So you bring it here. Let's see now. So what's the next line? Our decisions and action is what influences the results we get. So our decisions. So now this is where I was talking about. So now for all of those things now, you see that it is our decisions and actions and action. But the problem is that you cannot embody this decision and action. It's moving separately because the moment you come here and you want to change the format to bold, it boldens everything. So we have to separate them, right? So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. So first of all, let's just delete this and just have our first. So just remove the bolding. So just come here first, say our, just stay here our, then let's duplicate it, right? Then let's duplicate it again because of the remaining part of the text, right? So now this our, now we can now edit it. Decisions, what we need is what? Decisions and actions, right? So now we can bolden down. So this is the stress that designers go through. And this is not even really stressful if you are being honest. So yeah, I guess you understand now. So in fact, it helps us to make sure that it's on the same line. That's the good thing about Canva once again. So our decisions and actions. So but the space is too much, right? And if you feel like that adjuster is going where you don't know, once again, if they carry you where you don't know, you can just use your nudge. That's what your nudge is for. Your nudge there for you. Our decisions and actions. Yeah, that's it. Is what influences the results we get. So is what is on the same line, Abby. Is what influences. So you edit again. Is what influences. The reason why it's going that way is because it's centrally aligned. Assuming I've put it for left alignment, it wouldn't have been going that way. So just flow with it. Let's flow with it though. So yeah, so now it's beginning to come together. It looks like a single line of text, but of course it's not centrally aligned. So, and this is where grouping will help you. So you come here, you select multiple, 1, 2. So you do what? You group them together. So once you group them together, they are the same one. So you come again, you select multiple, this one and this one. Then after that, you do what? You position them. How do you align them? You come here, you give it what? Center. Easy peasy. So that way it's on the it's centered. But you can see that, of course, the central alignment is that it's centered it with so let's group two of this and this again together. It's central aligned it with the second one. So but if you group this and just come here to this position here and just give it center, it brings it to the center of the design itself, right? So we can come back here and ungroup, because we still want to adjust the space, but this one we still need them to be grouped together. So yeah, you catch my drift. So just it. So you come to nudge to give those micro adjustments, decision and actions. It's what influences. Yeah, looks good, right? So we can duplicate this one to give us that last line of stuff, the results we get. So we just put selector, the results we get, that's it. So of course this does not look correspondence to the spacing, so you just try to adjust that with your nudge. So yeah, that's it. Looks good, right? So yeah, let me just give this guy a little bit of come down a little bit, one more, so that it's in the center. So most of the things you do in design sometimes is just adjusting with your eye, seeing if it makes sense. Shooting a line. So yeah, so you can select multiple. You don't need to group them together, but at least just select them together and bring it down a little bit so that it doesn't look too much up there. Yeah, we're right on track. So now there's one last thing. I don't know if you guys are seeing it, but there is an action watermark behind this whole thing. Action. So let's do that to just complete our design, right? So I still feel like this. Let's bring this up a little bit. What do you guys think? Let's bring it up a little bit. It looks too close. No, not you. It looks too close to. It looks too close to the guy. Right. Let's just take it up a little bit. Yes, that's cool. So now let's put the last piece of the puzzle, which is the action. So that one, put action. So I don't know if you noticed also, you notice that action, the font is condensed. What they say condensed font is that those texts, they are always tall. See how tall it is. So you know that this font will not work for that kind of stuff, even if you increase the font size and you even burden it. Even if you burden it, it's still not going to look like it. So you have to change the font, and I think there's a font there that can help us look like that. Oxford, perfect. Oxford is perfect. So when you bring Oxford here, so I think we still have to increase the font size, because that action is actually pretty big. Obviously there's a limit to how much you can increase your font on on Canva, which is pretty much weird. But I guess that's what we have to do. So we have to first of all change the color. We might not need to change the color, but we can use transparency. So when we use transparency, we can change how transparent it is. But first, note that it's not supposed to be in front of that text. So what do? We send it to back. So but it's not noticeable yet, so we use our transparency to reduce the transparency. Yeah, I think this is pretty much okay for me. Yeah, this looks good to me. So let's see if the position is all right. Center, okay, it's centralized. So yeah, that's it. Voila, you're a designer. So yeah, this is it though. This is how you design stuff. So this is it. So when you want to export it, you just come here and you just download your image. So you choose what kind of stuff you want to use. Do you want to download in PNG, in JPG, in PDF formats and stuff like that? The choice is yours to make. So if you want to have a transparent background, you are going to have to pay. But if you just want to save your image quickly and you don't want to do any of those settings, you just come here and save image, and it just prepares your design for you, and you're all right. That's all it takes. So you have the option to share it. So that's one design gone, right? So this is it. So now I believe that if you follow this video, you'll be able to do what I did easily without any stress. So it's be a good way to call it a day at this point. So actually there's something about this design that we did not talk about, which is the shadow. But the reason why I not mention it is because it requires some effects and some stuff like that we may not really be able to get to today. So yeah, that's why I'm not. So it gives you the option to edit the picture also, if you want to just play around how it's supposed to look like and stuff like that, but let's not go there today. Yeah, so the other design I wanted us to try to do is this particular one, but I don't know if you guys will still stay around for us to do it. This is a fourth canvas design. If you don't know fourth canvas, Fourth is one of the best design and branding company out there in Nigeria. So yeah, they're pretty much good. So what do you think about this design? Do you think it's something we can pull off? It looks crazy, right? But it's not actually crazy if you think about it. So let's do this. So what we're just going to do is I want us to do it quickly. So I'm not going to try to talk as much and try to explain things as I did for the first one. I believe that you've learned some things already. So let's just do it quickly. So what we're going to do is that we're going to change this picture to your picture first. That's the first thing. Secondly, the name is going to be your name. Then that way you see George, you're going to put students, then you put in box it. Then all the shapes, we try to do that. Then this Africa Challenger branch, let's do African design student. What do you think? Africa design students, so that we do not just plagiarize that logo, that design verbatim. So let's try that, right? So now, so you have to go back, right, if you want to create. So you can create another page actually. So let me just do that actually. No, let's just create another design since I've left already. Let's create another design. Constant size. Remember how we did this, right? So you can. Well, I wanted to say that you can create another page on the same design project, so that you do not have to worry yourself about doing, especially if you are doing like the same type of work. But since it's not the same work, let's just create a different design for it, right? So it's bringing the option of blah 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 templates again. So now what do you think we should put first? Let's put our picture first. So do I have a picture? So let's paint this black. So you can change the color of your background. Just click on it. You see color here, change to black. Yep. So I think I should have my picture here. I'm not sure I have my picture here yet. Let's try to see if I'll find any picture of mine. All right, I found one. Let's add this to this. So yeah, this is my picture. So now it looks, no, see this picture now, it looks too much, like too big. We have to crop it, but more importantly than cropping it, we have to put it in a box, right? So we can crop it actually, but I don't want us to use the crop approach, because I want to teach us something. So what we want to do, if you want to put this in a shape, is come to this place plus, then you come to element, then you come to frames. So if you want to put it in a circle, you select a circular frame, and so on and so forth. But we want to put it in a rectangular frame. So I think let's just use this, because the frames do not have a rectangular stuff, so we have to use this one, right? So yeah, you can adjust the size. So that's it. So actually we are not supposed to have clicked this one yet. So when you come to frame here, when you change the size to whatever pleases you, I think the size is almost square and is resting on the side. So yeah, let's just do it like this. I think this is it. This works, right? So let's reduce the height a little bit more. Okay, we still need a lot of space up there, so let's just come here like this. Just reduce the height. Just this. So it's preferably you adjust the frame before you import the picture, because once you import the picture, I think it's going to be distorting it along with the frame. So, and you don't want that, right? So yeah, I think it's taking it halfway, so that, is it up to halfway? I don't know. So let's reduce it a little bit. Alright, so you press replace, and once you press replace, you can look for the picture you want to use. Once again, sorry, that was an error the first time. So yeah, this looks like a good picture to use. So here, so now if you want to adjust the picture inside, you double click, so that way you can adjust it. So you zoom in, you do this, it looks like the guy, like the face of the guy is what is showing the most in that stuff. So that's why I'm also making my face show the most. So yeah, so remember it's a picture that's supposed to be here. So yeah, so then you click outside, then you're good. So one other thing you notice is that the picture that we saw the other time, is in black and white. So there's a way to do that on Figma. It's pretty much easy, even much easier than other softwares. So you just come to filter, and there is a function there for you. That's just it, simple as ABC. So yeah, we are doing a tutorial, so I said we should put tutor and then boss it for that judge area, right? So that's what we're going to do. So let's create a box. First let's write down my name first. So let's just create a small box for the name. So yeah, so your name will be there too for yours. So just come here and resize it, of course. So, and remember that it is aligned and it is just exactly down that area. So you just come here, put it down this area, and so you just adjust your stuff well so that it's just perfect. So yeah, so you come here, just put it there. So then you can change the color. I think they use yellow, right? So you just use some yellow to, yeah, something yellowish. I don't want it to be too light, so that the text will show. It's a white text, and if it's too light, that's something about contrast. We talked about contrast on during the live class. So if it's too light, then of course a light color will not show on it. Then you add your text box, then you edit, you put your name. What was this? Yeah, so you edit, you put your name. I know my name. And your middle one, my phone knows my name too, so yeah, good luck to me. So does this font look like the font they use there? Or let's just check if you can find something better. So we come to font, so your super one stuff like that. I think these are grand. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. So let's use this. So you come here and just align. So yeah, this is it. So one thing you notice about text is that it usually does not align as much as other objects, because it's, you see, the box of the text is taking more than the space of the text itself. So most of the times it's not aligning like you probably have to use your eye, to have a good measurement of what it's supposed to look like. So yeah, Ayomide Oduwaranti. Yeah, that looks good. It looks kind of small too though. So we can just take this, select multiple with the box, and just enlarge it a bit. You understand that? So yeah, that's what select multiple will help you to do, to help you to like be able to make all just adjustments easily. So yeah, that looks good to me. So let's put the judge thing now. So instead of just keep clicking plus and putting box, you can just duplicate this box and just take it there, so that you save yourself the stress of just going over that again. So yeah, we just need the box to be small over here. Right, just a small box there. Right, so you can zoom in to do any of that. So let's duplicate this one too. So it looks like that judge, the font they used was quite thick, am I right? It was bold. So let's see if you can embolden this, or maybe we just find another font that is quite bold, and Ganda black looks like something that can work, right? Does it work, or is it too bold? What do you think? But let's just try it first. So let's see. I'm going to be using tutor instead of judge, because of course I'm not a judge, I'm a tutor. So it looks too bold to me though, or not, maybe not. Just see. So let's just put this out there. We can change the font, of course, to probably medium. Then once it's medium, we can now change the format to bold. That way it's not as bold as that one. Does it still look as bold as that one? Let's see. So font medium. What other option do we have to use? We must stick around Angrandia, because of course it's what we're working with, and that's something you have to be consistent with your design. So yeah, just bring this here, and then probably increase it a little bit. Just thank you. So what you see about text is this: if you align this with this, now you see that what is aligning is the bottom of the box, of that purple box. So that's what I was saying about text. So this one you probably have to use your eye to like see if it actually sits pretty well. Then you can use nudge to adjust it to the perfect position you would like it to be. Yeah. So yeah, tutor, right? So then we put Bossit tutorial in brackets. So that's it. So let's take this a bit far away from it, and like this. Then let's duplicate this guy for the Bossit tutorial I want to put. So let's edit. What does it say? Bossit tutorial. So your own will be student Bossit tutorial, and I hope you guys are doing this as well. So yeah, let's put that in the brackets too. Yeah, so let's just put it there, sit there. Yeah, so just put it. So of course you make the micro adjustments So just make sure it's sitting pretty well right there. So yeah, so I think this looks like it's, was our bossy tutorial too small? Even looks like it's not balanced, it's not sitting there very well. So use notch, because that one might not give you the freedom to adjust it properly. So you can probably increase the font size to a bit. It's too much. So I think 13 is okay, right? So let's go back to notch to adjust that stuff. So that's, yeah. So yeah, looks good to me. So I think they use green for this, so you can change this color to a green, properly green color. So yeah, so what do we have now? George tutorial, stuff like that. So I feel like our tutor on Bossit is actually quite small, so of course we can remedy that. So let's increase this guy, let's give it a little bit of height. So this one, and that's what select multiple will do for you. It will help you to be able to increase and adjust some things together at the same time. So yeah, it looks like the base of this one and this one are not aligning, so we can use nudge to bring it down a little bit, and yeah, we're cool. Looks much better to me. So yeah, let's just go on. Of course you can so let's just do this Africa challenges brand. So we said we use Bossit design training, right? So instead of creating box, let's just duplicate this and just bring the guy here. Sorry, I did not mean to do that. Just bring the guy here and just sorry, I think my network is just fluctuating. So just let's do Bossit design training, right? So you duplicate this again, so we'll see where it's taking it to. No fam, that's not what we're doing. So just bring it here somewhere like this, right? I think that's what it did. Then duplicate. So actually it helps you to take it to the same proportion you duplicated it to, but we don't need that right now. So yeah, this one has to be a little bit longer. So I don't know if you've seen it, but it looks like there's some kind of black space in between the three stuff. So to just avoid that, we just go to the notch here and just press up once to close up that space, and that's it. So of course we know that this whole thing, so you can select multiple, we know that these three are white in color, so change them to white. Amen. So yeah, let's check this now. So we duplicate this because we need a text now for Bossit, and of course we need black. Or is that black enough? Is that black? Because black has a different sheets. Hope you know that. Yeah, so we can change this to Bossit, right? Bossit, right? So we can bolden it because that one is actually bold. So yeah, so bring it here. So it looks like, what I said about text the other time, the fact that it doesn't align, sometimes you have to do it yourself, stuff like that. So yeah, just do that and make sure it's sitting well. So yeah, you can now duplicate this and bring it here also and say, okay, I think it's training that will be here, design will be here this side. So man, I took that out. So let's take this, let's edit it. So training, see what it does when you delete everything. It's fine, we're gonna adjust it after. So this one, just change it to design, right? So yeah, and that's how you do. So of course use your, let's select multiple and change this to bold first, right? I'm bolding it. So yeah, then you can deselect it and then adjust them individually using your notch once again to make sure your alignment is perfect. So it needs to come down a little bit more. Yeah, and that's it. So Bosset design training. Look at that. That looks good, right? So we can adjust the boxes because the boxes are not really agreeing with what we did. So notch, can just adjust this. So this one, it looks like it's too much. I just adjust it like this. Yeah. So just adjust it carefully so that you don't spoil the whole thing. So Bosset design training. Yeah, the font they use looks a lot more thicker, but let's just work with this, can we? Because of course we are limited by fonts, we don't know the exact fonts they use. So let's just select multiple, right? And just I'm trying to select the box. Oh boy. Then just select multiple rows. Why is this thing slimy now? No, we're gonna leave it because I think this has gone for far too long, so I don't want to waste much time. So of course, you know, you have to create the boxes, so you duplicate them, and you can just find your way around that. Just put them all around. I'm just gonna paste, just paste, because I've done them before. So so just put that, and voila. You just change the shape, change the colors, and you're good. I think this is cool, right? Very, very cool. So you can see, and it just remains the text, but I don't just want us to go too far today because I think this tutorial has gone on for too long. So it looks like it, and you're a designer. So I want you guys to do this just so you can just save your work, and that's all, right? So I want you guys to do this. Make sure you do it. Send it to the group, the first and the second design we did, and make sure your picture and your name is there. Make sure that tutor is student. And then the first design, to just do it exactly as we did it, and just where that boss it is in the first design, just put your name, your first name there in black color and in a font that is not too bad. So just do that, and send it to the group. If you do not send it to the group, I just assume that nobody watched this tutorial, and if you do not send it, just assume that you're not interested. So please make sure you do send it, and you see that you can use Canva to do really nice designs. So, and that's why we say that the mind of the designer is more important than the tool of the designer. Of course, the tool can limit you. For example, in that first design, you can see that we cannot put the shadow and some other things, some other effects, because it's not really easy on Canva. But aside from that, you can do pretty much simple things. And of course, we say something about combining ideas. Look, for example, this idea now, if I want to do something like this, I might just probably steal this idea from and this one from here, then leave all these boxes and these ones, and then just go to another design and just see something that makes sense. And by the time you combine everything, it looks like a totally different design, and that's what makes you a designer, the ability to bring creativity into your craft. I don't want to talk too much, but thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if I wasted your time, but I'm excited to have done this. So you can expect other tutorials to follow along after this, and there's also a document here where you find the resources that you can use, the website you can use to find resources to use for your design, shapes, all other things, logos, probably pictures and stuff like that. Very, very important for your design journey. So make sure you check them. The link is in the caption. You can just download it and use them. All right, see you guys later. It was nice having you on here. Have a nice day.